Today, we're going to talk about the hottest stock on the market, Palantir. Their price movement has been volatile lately, moving up and down, but analysts still question, is it too late to buy Palantir stock? In this video, we'll look at Palantir's business model, analyze their financials, and interpret their current valuations in order to answer that question. I'll also give a quick educational segment on how you can analyze company valuations in the stock market, all on your own. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video, and let's dive right in. So let's start by talking about Palantir's business model. They sell two platforms, Gotham and Foundry, and they also have a new AI program called their AIP. Palantir sells this software to both government agencies and corporations, so the revenue stream is diversified between the private and public sector. The main advantage of Palantir's business model is that they have a wide customer base across several industries, so their business model is pretty resilient. Publicly traded companies rave about the usefulness of their software, while the government, specifically the US military, also uses Palantir's software to make split-second decisions on the battlefield. Switching gears to their financial performance, Palantir has displayed impressive revenue growth. They have grown approximately 30% year over year, and the best part is that they've shown this kind of growth since they IPO'd. Additionally, Palantir has shown to be profitable for 2 consecutive quarters, so they're heading in the right directions with their margins and cash flow both showing constant improvement. And when we dive deeper into their earnings report, we see an increasing revenue contribution from the commercial sector, which is what we want to see. The more diversified Palantir's revenue is between the federal government and public companies, the better. This also suggests that Palantir isn't just maintaining, but they're actively extending their reach in the market. Now, here comes an important part of our stock analysis: Palantir's valuation. Now, the valuation of a company, in this case Palantir, is a crucial step when deciding whether the stock is a buy, hold, or sell. So here's a quick lesson on valuation. There are 3 main metrics people use when valuing a company on the stock market. The first one is their price to earnings ratio, which is commonly referred to as PE ratio, their price to sales ratio, and last but not least, their earnings per share. These metrics help put things into perspective on whether the stock is overpriced, underpriced, or if their price is just right. Now let's bring this all into context with Palantir. As I'm recording this video, Palantir is trading at a price to sales multiple of 16.3x. And honestly, that's really high. To put things in perspective, the S&P 500 index, which is the 500 most valuable companies in the US, they're trading at a price to sales ratio of 2.5x. And that's the highest their PS ratio has been in the last 20 years. So at first glance, Palantir stock does seem overvalued. But when we dig a little deeper, we start to really uncover Palantir's true valuation. This is a chart of Palantir's price to sales ratio compared to their competitors in the AI sector and in the data sector. And we see immediately that Nvidia and Datadog are both trading at higher multiples. From this chart, we also see that C3 and HubSpot are trading at 15.6x and 14x respectively, which still isn't far off from Palantir's ratio. When we look at the full picture, Palantir isn't as overvalued as they may seem. When compared to competitors, they're trading at similar multiples. In fact, with many of their competitors being valued similarly, I would argue that Palantir is the best investment out of that group. And this is because of their market potential, which I'm going to talk about next. However, before I get into that, if you've made it this far, please make sure to subscribe down below and like the video. I do my best to upload content just like this as often as possible. Anyways, moving on to Palantir's market potential, there is an ever-growing demand for big data analytics, and most importantly, AI solutions. Palantir has a stronghold in big data with the US government and with huge corporations. And with the announcement of their AIP software, they'll be able to upsell their current clients with the best AI solutions on the market. I mean, you seriously have to research the capabilities of their AI program. I've seen crazy use applications for the US military and for helping companies make big decisions. And it's not just me that thinks so. Analysts are saying that Palantir might be 5 years ahead of their closest competitor. However, every investment comes with risks. Here are 3 risks that you should be aware of regarding Palantir stock and why I'm personally not worried about them. First is their dependency on government contracts. Second is political changes or budget cuts. And third is technology risk. Will a competitor have better technology, rendering Palantir stock inefficient? And as I mentioned earlier, although Palantir makes a good portion of their revenue from government contracts, which some people see as a concern, they're closing that gap each year. More and more revenue is starting to come from the private sector, so this is becoming less of a problem. Their business model is becoming more and more resilient. And in regards to political risk or government budget cuts, there's not much that we can do about that. However, I would argue that budget cuts from the government is highly unlikely. I wouldn't consider the US government a frugal organization by any means. And the last risk, technology risk. I don't see a competitor overtaking Palantir anytime soon. As I mentioned earlier, it's not just me that thinks this. Analysts are extremely bullish on Palantir's products and especially their AIP. In conclusion, while Palantir's current valuation may seem steep, Their robust growth rates, strong market position, and high potential market could make Palantir an interesting investment. I'm personally invested, however, of course, it's important to consider your own financial goals, risk tolerance, and to do your own research before making any investment decision. And here's your reminder for the video that I am not a financial advisor. Anyways, I hope this analysis and brief lesson on valuation has been insightful, and if you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. Also, feel free to watch the video appearing on your screen right about now. It's a stock analysis video about a promising penny stock, so check it out if you're interested. And until next time, YouTube, stay curious, stay invested, and let's grow our wealth together. Cheers.